Hi everyone, it's Ashley from Tea Garden Paper Crafts, and welcome to day 11 of June-Tober 2025. Today's design, today's freebie design is actually by me, Tea Garden Paper Crafts. So I wanted to show you a way that you can assemble this tab folio. There are tons of different ways. This is just my way of doing it, but you do not have to follow this, and I would love to see what you come up with these designs. So I've already gone ahead, cut out and inked and scored everything on my folio. And I'm going to start by showing you how I assemble it. So there's this piece here, and these two pieces here create the main part of your folio. So I'm going to start by putting glue here. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of spread that out the best that I can with my finger to make sure that it gets all the way to the edges. And then you could glue it on this side here and adhere it to this side, but I like to do it adhered to the back of my folio. And get it as close to that fold as I can. So like that, we've got already the main part of the folio assembled. Now, because the back side of it, which is your outside, is kind of a little boring for me, I include these extra pieces which you can use to decorate. So for me, I am going to, you could also cut these down and use them as a like cards and stuff in your journal, but I'm going to use, or your folio, but I'm going to use this one to decorate the back of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Now you could also make this into a pocket by just gluing along the three sides and leaving one side open. You could make it into a pocket. That's a fun thing that you could do, and then add extra ephemera, use the background pages to create tags, but I want mine to just be a solid background. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to do my best to center that on there. And then that way it also kind of hides my join of my folio. So like that. Now this piece here, you can either print on the back and do something here, or you can glue it in on this side here. You may need to trim yours down a little bit. Like I need to, if I want to use this piece, I need to trim it down a little bit to make it fit because it doesn't go over my score lines. Wow, that word was hard for me. I'm sorry. So I could cut this down. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Let's just give it a quick trim. I can't cut a straight line to save my life, but we are going to do our best. Okay, there we go. That fits much better in there. So then we will go ahead and glue that on. And again, another opportunity to make a pocket here. I'm not going to, just because I like the decorative elements of it. But again, these are also pieces that you do not need to use, or you could cut them down and make them into tags. Instead, if you don't want to cover up that too much. But the way that this is designed, it's designed to layer. So there are going to be some images that get covered up, unfortunately. But that's just the way that this one is designed, and I really like the layering on this one. So get that as centered as I can. Perfect. Okay, so then I have all of my pieces kind of cut out and grouped together here. So the next pieces that we are going to work on is we're going to grab one of our tabs. We're going to grab this one here and then these two here. Again, everything is all inked. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece in over here, which is why I like using this one on this side, because it kind of gives that juxtaposition for me of the greenery. So go ahead and ink my edges, or glue my edges here. There we go. So now we're looking like that. Next, we're going to take this, and this is the pocket for right here. So we are just going to glue the top and the bottom and the straight side. Okay, next we are going to take this tab, and this tab I'm going to put on the side over here to make it easy to grab out. Now you could put this anywhere that you wanted to. I printed the astronomy styled background on the back of mine. You could do any of the papers that you want. You could do, you don't even have to do something that I provided in the kit. You could do just nothing. You could do something, a paper that you already love. You could do coffee dyed paper or printed on coffee dyed paper, and then just have that. Tons of options. I wanted this folio to be super customizable to what you like, and not necessarily need to do what I like. So then that will tuck in there. And that is our first side done. So next, I'm going to grab these ones, which are several strips here. So there's the little piece, there's this ticket, and then there are a couple more pieces here. So this is a tag, and this is a tag. So I'm going to take this feathered piece here, and that is going to go in the center right there. So I'm just, and it's going to act as a belly band, so I'm just going to glue the two edges and kind of try to center it with my door here. And if it hangs off a little bit on the edge, that's okay, because we can trim that when we are done. And then that fits that one nicely. And then this little one is also a belly band. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue there and there, and then glue that in the center of this one. And this little ticket can tuck in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in and trim down this little bit right there. Okay, so that is the next part done. So then we have the center. So the center, we have 3 more tabs. We have 3 more cards, and then we have 3 pockets. So our first pocket is going to go here. And we're going to glue all of the sides because these are stacked pockets. So we're going to glue all 3 sides. We're not going to leave anything open. You do not need to print on the back of these. I always just print on the back because I'm worried that someone might see when they're opening a pocket. And I don't want anyone to see just plain white paper on this folio if I can help it, because it is very colorful. And I'm going to line up my bottom here with the bottom of my other 2. And then we will get this pocket and this pocket lines up down on the bottom there. Like that. And then the final pocket goes down at the bottom. We'll line that up down there. So next we're going to take our tabs, and I'm going to stagger my 3 tabs. So I will start with just putting glue on one of them here. Oops. And I'm going to grab this card. Get that nice and glued on there. And that goes in our first pocket. Now ideally you would let all of your pockets and everything dry before you begin with putting things in, but because I'm doing this in my tutorial here and these are meant to be shorter videos for the YouTube hop, I wanted to make sure that I was able to show you what I wanted to in this video. So this one I'm going to put in the center. There we go. And that one can go in that pocket. Now, if you ever have problems like this where you can't get something into your pocket, what you would want to use would be like your ruler to help you guide it into your pocket. And then let's grab our last tab here. We're going to go put that on this side over here. And then this one goes in our final pocket. Okay, so now that's the main assemblage of our folio. Now I have a whole bunch of other fun ephemera here. We have just some regular tags, so we can tack those in. I think I'm going to tack 2 of them in here, and I'll tuck 2 of them in here. And then we have our characters here. So in case you couldn't tell, this is actually a witchy take on Clue. So these are all of the characters' replacements. And then we also have the name of the place, which is Ravenwood Manor. And Ophelia Duskweaver, who is Mr. Body in the original. So she is the murder victim. And then we also have all of this fun ephemera that I included here. So I want to use some of these on the front, but I thought that these little sigils would be really fun in here. And then maybe I'll put the book in there. We'll put the chalice in there, And then I was thinking that would be fun on there. Now there are tons of different ways that you could close this up. Whoop. I think what I want to do with mine is I want to put a hole here and then use a tie closure, and I'll have my key hanging off of that. I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to put that. I want to put it down there maybe. Kind of wanted to use one of these guys on the front, so maybe I'll use the book on the front and we'll put the crystal ball in that pocket. Or maybe we could put the book here as kind of a reveal. Choices, choices. I think I'm going to put this on the front, and then I will print out the name Murder at Ravenwood Manor, and I will, I think, put that. So let me grab some twine and my hole punch. Whoop, disaster. Okay, so I've got some twine and I have my hole punch, and I think I'm going to do kind of my medium one here. I'm going to try and line this up. Come on, go through. There we go. Okay, I'll take my twine. Tie a knot there. And then how many times do we want this to wrap around? One. I think two. And then I'm going to tie a knot at this end to keep it from unraveling on itself. Like that. And then let's see, what else do we have that I might like to add to this? I've got my package of bulb pins or gourd pins, whichever you call them. And I think I will take one of those and put that through. And use that. So there we go. There is our folio. Wraps around like that and opens up. And we have all of the fun, colorful pockets on the inside with all of the goodies. Now, before I forget, I need to show you my piece of the spell, and mine is the Brimstone Butterfly for this video. So if you are playing along with the YouTube Hop board game, you can grab that. If you are not yet familiar with it, if you are coming to this video from my channel and are one of my subscribers and are not here from the YouTube Hop, then I suggest you go in the description below and grab the game board. Go look through the previous videos, which will be in the link tree in the description below, and make sure that you join the Paper Bee and Petals and Parchment Facebook groups so that you can join in on the fun. We are only just about halfway through the month of June, and there are still tons more freebies to go, and they are all absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me on day 11 of the YouTube Hop. Oop, hitting my camera there. And I will see you in my next video and you enjoyed this and find inspiration here. Thank you. Bye-bye.